That is what we are saying. So if you have people who say it's their interest and all they want to get is what they can get out of the system, we should not look at that. We should not consider that. But in this view, that is, of course, is an interest group, but we need to know that there are some people who all they are interested in is how to corrupt a system, how to get the benefits of that system without giving anything. So we need to look at whatever group we want to represent. We want to look at what their interests really are before we can go on. Then we have the dominant political science view. That's another view of interest group. It says that these are interest groups play a partially positive role. Most of them are individuals who can't speak for themselves. That's what the political science view says. It says there are groups that communicate problems and preferences and use legislation, or they use public officials, and they represent functional geographic groups. It depends on the constituency. So you look at this when you look at the definitions of interest groups. So this will guide your understanding. It will guide the people you want to look at. So if they say they're an interest group of social workers, is social work is their interest, what is the internal thought of those people? What do they really want? So when you define them, when you use this scale, you'll be able to say that this is an interest group or is not an interest group that should be encouraged. So interest group is any organization or body that attempts to persuade elected officials. You want to target legislation, you want a change in policy. So it could be a national one, it could be a state one, it could be a community one. It could be a permanently organized body, or it is short-lived. It depends on what you want to look at. Then all major interests in the society are represented by one interest group or another. So every one of us will belong to an interest group. We'll have one interest in mind. But when we are individuals, we can say that those are individual groups, but we are looking at interest groups that are formed by a group of individuals, or that we have a group of individuals in them who have the same things in mind. That is it. So interest groups do not aim to take over power. They do not want to set up a government. Rather, they seek to influence political parties, influence politicians, influence departments, state departments in whatever areas that can benefit the people, not because people want to profit out of it, but because the voice of the people must be heard. They represent particular or specific interests or objective in society. So you see, different definitions, different understanding will help us to know which group we should really work with and which groups we should not work with. Interest groups apply pressure by making financial contributions, appealing to public opinion, providing expertise. They form civil disturbance or direct action groups. Interest groups also can get people pressurized by bribery and then lobbying. The last class we tried to look at the differences between bribery and lobbying. There's a thin line there. But you see, when you illegally pass money about, is bribery. But when you try to persuade influential people, people who matter in government, people whose voices are heard, people who make things happen in the system, when you try to persuade them to do things for another group of people, then you'll be working properly, and it will not be bribing, it will be lobbying. So interest groups can be classified into these two, majorly into these two groups. Those that are protective, they want to protect and defend the interests of a particular section in society. Then we also have promotional. These ones support a particular cause and do not guard the interest of a particular social group. They are not particularly interested in one group, but they just want everything in society to work properly. And we have membership there, potentially larger than and more varied when you talk of promotion, because you are looking at the interest of almost everybody in the community. But when it's protective, members are limited to individuals. For example, you can have the group of social workers, association of social workers. You can have those ones. There are so many examples, and then I put here, if we can add to the examples that we have. So usually for the promotional one, anybody can join because it is a cause in the community, is a cause in the society that people want to protect or people want something to happen about. But with the protective one, they are just individuals who are in a particular trade, who are in a particular group, just as we have used that of. So if you are not, you cannot, for example, join the Association of Social Workers if you are not one. Whereas if they say that a road wants to pass through a community and is going to disrupt where children play, everybody in the community would try to defend that cause. Types of interest groups. We can also have, so the broad ones are the protective ones or the promotional ones, but we can then have smaller ones. Economic interest groups, we see what their interests are. Single interest group, equality interest group, governmental interest groups. Then we also have ideological interest groups, and we have public interest groups. Again, we can see the types in different forms with examples. Economic, here you have labor unions, business organizations. Public interest, you have environmental, all those people that talk about rights, kind of consumer rights, citizenship rights. All of those can come. Then we have single issue interest group. These ones fight for the interest of one specific matter. There may not be many, there are many matters in the community, but they just choose one and decide to fight for the people so that their voices are heard. Are you still there?
Yes.
All right, thank you. So we also have functions of interest groups, and we have the description of the function. So this image tells us what interest groups do. Inside lobbying, outside lobbying. You see that we are careful not to use the word bribery, because bribery is not what we are looking at. It's lobbying that we are looking at. So we can look at this in this direction. Direct contact with policymakers. And what will that bring? Assistance to writing a bill and changing a policy, something like that. Then the outside, when you look at outside lobbying, which is indirect, you educate members, you increase general public awareness, you engage political process so that people can do political issues properly, process of election, you support candidates, and then you donate. Whereas they look at the function of interest group again, monitor government programs. So you evaluate effectiveness of what government is doing, and then you help to suggest changes that may accrue to the people positively. So we also have functions: educate the public on issues, mobilize citizens and stimulate them to participate in the political affairs and communal affairs of the people, and then you ensure that they form checks and balances for government. What these interest groups really do is to make sure that government is not overdoing things. And so once we have checks and balances, you are going to put them in check, and people who are in government will be able to do things right and do things properly without excesses. That's where what we are looking at as the function of these bodies. So we'll look at also, these are elements when you look at how to do campaigns, or you are looking at how to do these kinds of activities. So you are looking at advocacy, you are looking at campaigns, and all these are social media things that can be used today. Before now, we used to use physical means. People go make noise on the street, talk about the matter, call for people to attend. A lot of mobilization was done physically. Some communities still do that, especially where social media is not particularly popular. Not because they don't want it to be popular, but they can't afford it at this time. So what do we look at? These are elements that we'll look at when we look at, I want to use the social media profile to do campaign or to do advocacy. So this is for your own education. So you just want to look at it. It's not directly a social work thing here, but we can borrow from it. That's the idea of putting it there. We can be if you look at it, you will see brands. That is not. It's not that we are selling a product, but we are selling a service, and we can use any of this and understand this so that we use the social media platform and profile properly. So when we want to conduct a social work campaign, what are we looking at? What should we do? So when we want to conduct it, remember that this is where we are going to. It's our focus. It's the thing that we really want to do. Can you still see my slide? Can you still see my slide? Because I can't see it.
Yes, I can see conducting a social work campaign.
Okay, because I can't see it. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but let me see whether I can get it back. I don't know what I touched, but I can still see it. Let's see. Conducting a social media. There's something I'm doing that is not right here because it's coming off and on. It's jumping about.
It's saying identify the issue.
Yes, but I can't see it. That's what I'm saying. All right, maybe I will just go and use my own.
Okay.
Let me see, because I can't see it now. I can't see it. I still can't see it. And I need us to follow together.
And let the secretariat help us.
Maybe Secretariat can help me out. I think I touched something here. Okay, what will happen is let me stop it and then I'll come back.
Okay.
Let me stop the slide. Let me stop the slide and then I'll get it back.
Okay, ma.
But I can see other things. It's just my slide that I can't see. All right. I think I have it back. Can you see it?
We can see it now.
Okay, fine. Okay. So we're saying that when you want to conduct a social work campaign, not selling anything, but a campaign for social work, what do? You want to identify the matter. What is the matter that you want to look at? So clearly define the problem that you have. Is it that of injustice? Is it that of not listening to people? Is something not right? You want to ensure that you identify the matter, identify the issue, and then research and data collection. When you do that, you must gather facts, statistics. You cannot want to work for a people when you don't have the facts. So you must have the facts. You must know the numbers of people that are involved. You must know the processes of reaching things. So you want to look at all this properly. Then you set objectives. So you define clear and measurable goals for the campaign. What do you want to achieve? So let the objectives be very clear. Then you develop a strategy or plan. How do we want to go about it? You mobilize resources. You cannot do this. Last class, I'm sure we talked about it, that you cannot do it alone. So you need human resources, you need financial, and you need material resources. So you want to mobilize these resources. Who are the people that will give you the money? Remember that these are people that you want their voices to be heard. So they may not have financial backing, but they are humans. So what can they contribute? Can they even contribute anything? In some cases, they don't even have anything to contribute. So you need to mobilize the resources that will be necessary. Then you implement activities. How do you want to do it? Workshops, rallies, media outreach. What do you want to use? Then also, one thing you must understand is that there must be measuring of what you are doing. So you need to monitor what you are doing and evaluate what you are doing properly. From the beginning, you begin to monitor, and at the end, you want to check what progress have we made in monitoring. Then what impact has what we have done, what has it done into the society? What has it contributed to the community? Again, in all your plans, you must make sure that there's sustainability, because life will continue after the campaign. So life for the people is not just going to stop after the campaign. What do you want to get out of the campaign? Which is your objective? And so you must be able to come up with what is the sustainability plan that you have for the people. So when you want to conduct this, these are steps that you can use. Remember this, for us to know what is necessary, but these are the steps that you will follow. One, identify it. So what is the cause, the root causes of the problem? What are the evidences that are available? Then develop advocacy goals and objectives. Define decision makers and influencers. Who do you want to go and meet? So define them properly. Identify opposition and obstacles that will come your way. Remember that these people have not just come in one day. It didn't just start today. This thing has been there, and you want to ensure a change. So there will be opposition, there will be obstacles. Again, determine advocacy strengths, limitations, and who wants to partner with you. You must determine all those people. What again would you be asking for? What again would you be doing? Create advocacy approaches and activities. What are the activities? Remember here, we said that you can look at implement activities, workshops, rallies. These are things that you can use. And then you want to be sure, again, not just for campaigns, but even for the advocacy, you can use any of this. That's why they are working together. So you can use the one that suits the community you are working with, the one that suits the interest group, and the one that suits the people you want to support. Again, number 7 there, craft advocacy messages. How do you want the messages to go out? What do you want people to hear? So you need to sit down and carve these messages properly that will attract people and that will make meaning to the people. It's not something that will put them off, but something that will help them to join in the race that you are putting ahead. Again, continually measure advocacy progress and apply adaptation management practices throughout the life of the campaign, the campaign or the advocacy. Whatever you are doing, whether you are doing advocacy or you are doing campaign, make sure that you measure properly, and all that you do are things that are measurable, things that that people can see, that you yourself, you know, at the end that you have succeeded in doing this, and you have not succeeded. Then you can start all over again. How to plan a campaign in 9 steps. This again, you see that there's not much difference from what we have, but depending on what you are doing, and that's why you see these plans are not, or these steps are not cast in stone. These steps are there to guide. So individual communities, individual persons and interest groups will have what can be adapted to them. So all these things can be adapted to the people that you want to assist and for the policy you want to get. So it depends on you. You may find out that what you use in community A may be successful there in community A, but you want to carry the same thing to community B, it will not work because the people now differ. So again, what do you do? This first step is that you must gain approval. You cannot do things for people when you cannot go to National Assembly, for example, if you don't have the approval of the institute. So you must get executive approval, and then you say, okay, this is what we want to do. Then choose the campaign leader. Who is going to lead the campaign? What is the person? Who is the person? Is the person someone that can be heard and listened to, or you just choose anybody? No. So you want to choose the right campaign leader, and then you form a planning team. What is your team like? Who are the members of the team? Remember that your team members must have all people that are going to be represented there. It's like a multidisciplinary thing. So you get people who will form the team. There's a speaker there. There's a politician there. There's a market woman there. There's a policy maker there. There's a government worker there. That you make sure that the team is properly formed, that every angle of that matter is listened, is addressed, so that you can be listened to. If you don't address if your team is not properly constituted, one area may be missing. Again, you identify and assign tasks to every member of the committee, every member of the team. You let everybody know. So it's not just a blanket thing. We want to say, okay, we need to write this. Everybody go and write. Nobody will write anything. But let this person know their task. Let this person know their task. And then the next time we come together, we'll then put together. So when you have formed they identify the task, everybody will go away. Everybody will go and conduct the research for the planning. And then we come back a second time. And here now, we set our goal and we set the strategy. That's at the second meeting of the planning team. And then what is the next thing? You develop the objectives, you develop the strategies, you develop the tactics that you want to use to achieve that. And then gain draft plan feedback. So you now come back again and then you present that. So once you have a plan, that which is the 9th step, now you have a plan, you finalize your plan. At this stage, there are no new additions and suggestions. You are not bringing in new plans. Remember that all the steps that you wanted to, all the things you wanted to do have been scrutinized properly. So at this stage now, nobody is going to bring something that is going to majorly disrupt your plan. Small changes here and there, maybe additions here, contact one person here, just little adjustments, but not something that will majorly affect the plan that you have had over the weeks before you get to this final stage. So once every plan is finalized, what do? You go on and have your campaign. So the campaign can begin. Are we still together?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes,
thank you very much.
together.
All right, thank you. So what do we then need? Tools and techniques for advocacy and campaigns. What do you need? You want to now go out. Every plan has been put in perspective. Now we want to go out. So the things that you will need, you need tools, you need techniques, you need lobbying. Again, you see, we have to do a lot of lobbying. We speak public speaking and forum, awareness in community. So you do meetings with community to let them come into agreement with you, or else you just find out that you are alone. Then you do media engagement, use newspapers, radio, social media, and then you look at networking and partnerships. You build coalitions. Civil society is very good at this because there's no new thing that wants to happen. Some people have done something before. All you need to do is to find out what they have done, and then you build coalitions with them. Sometimes you find out that you cannot work with them. You cannot work with another group like that, but you can check for another group that you can work with. So if you cannot work with group A, you can work with group B, but you need to form coalitions. You need to build networks so that you can and have partners so that you are not just doing things alone. So you also consider petitions and letters. These are things that you will carry to the authority. If you want to write a petition, write it. If it's a letter you want to write to go and beg them, write it. But make sure that there are formal requests to these various bodies that you want to. Another thing you need, a tool or a technique, depending on how you look at it, is storytelling and testimonies. What has happened? What is the situation of the people? Let's imagine that you want to advocate or campaign for some people, I'm trying to think of an easy one now. Let's look at, let's say you want to campaign for people who are partially sighted. People who are partially sighted. You want to tell their story. You want people to listen to what they are going through. So here you need to develop the stories properly. So the people themselves, you see, you can't sit down in your own house and develop the stories. So you need to talk to the people who will tell you their stories, and then you cast the stories properly that it can win people's attention. So that people will not just be sympathetic about, but will be empathetic with you, and then they will with them, and then they will work with you. Because if you just sit down and cast things, you don't have the facts. But let the people who are really involved, let them tell you their testimonies, let them tell you their own stories, let them tell you how then you can cast this properly. And then in doing this, you are whipping up emotions for them. You are whipping up emotions for them so that things can be done in their favor. This is a strong tool that can be used for advocacy or for campaign. If you have pictures, let the pictures go with you. If you have printed stories, maybe newspapers have talked about these kinds of books, put them all together. They will be useful for your campaign and for the advocacy that you want to do. So in doing advocacy and campaigns, there are challenges. What is the challenge to us in Nigeria? Today, if you want to do advocacy, if you want to do campaigns for a people in Nigeria, what challenges are you likely to face? One, political interference and corruption. Everybody is resistant to change of some sort. So you will meet with resistance from the people who hold the powers, the people who are the custodians of power. Just be ready. Sometimes it's not just because they are resisting, they want something from you. So corruption will set in. So there's political interference. They are saying that, no, that is not for our party. Our party does not have that kind of a thing. Go to this place, go to that place. It's some form of resistance. And then if they do agree at some point, then you begin to see corruption. When you begin to look at bribing them, corruption has set in. Again, for a challenge to advocacy and campaigns in Nigeria, one thing is limited resources. So we have limited human resources, limited material resources, limited financial resources. So we may not have trained personnel who will carry the noise, who will make the noise. So you may end up having people who are not properly trained for the job. So we have limited properly trained for advocacy, who may not know advocacy plans, who may not know how to carry out campaigns. You may have this. So limited resources is a challenge. Another thing is cultural and social norms. Now, traditionally, we have beliefs. And so when somebody is partially sighted, it's not something you should talk about. Or some people have mental health matters, they should not be talked about. So the belief of the people could also be an opposition for you. If you have a mentally deranged person in the house, for example, and you want to go and campaign concerning mental health, the family would not let you talk about it because it's part of us. We hide so many of these things. It's cultural, and then there's nothing you can really do about it. So it's a challenge. So for you to break into that, a lot of work must be done. So you must also be ready for the security concerns. You want to work with partially sighted people. You want to work with people with mental health. What are the risks to you? What are the risks? How do you want to cope with it? Do you have protection? Do you have security that will guard you yourself as a social worker before you begin to look up? Because the first rule is you follow the aircraft rule. You protect yourself first before you begin to protect another person. If you are not protected, how do you protect another person? So the first rule is you protect yourself. So what are the risks that you are going to expose yourself to as as a social worker, and majorly there are risks of security. There's concerns of security, and you want to be sure that this is properly taken care of. Another thing it could be a challenge is the legal barriers. What do we have? Inadequate enforcement of rights and laws. Do you know the laws? Do you know what the rights of the people are? What are, if you go to the lawyer will tell you so many things why that thing is not what you should touch, but you is somebody you should listen to. So you need to understand what the barriers are. Sometimes you want to do it and then they tell you that you can just go this far. You want to understand that. And then you want to know that even if you are able to get through, what protection do you have legally? What protection do you have? If you don't have any legal protections, my advice is don't go in that direction. There's always something else to look for. Are we still together?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions or contributions? Any questions or contributions?
Please, ma.
Yes.
I think maybe you should just explain a little the difference between lobby and
Yes.
bribe. Yes. So I can
The difference between lobby.
lobby and bribe.
Okay. They are almost the same, but one is acceptable, the other one is not acceptable. Now, let's look for okay, let's take an example. You want to change you want something to happen to members of a community. Let's take a community where there's open defecation. Let's take that example. But you as a social worker, you are seeing all the problems that this is causing in the community. And you think what to do is to campaign against this thing. And then advocate that a policy be put in place so that people will not openly do these things anymore. The first you want to do is to ensure that you build toilets. How do you get that? You need resources. Do you want to go to the chairman of the local government or you want to go to the councillor? Now, the councillor may be the one to lead you to the chairman of the local government. You need to lobby the councillor. How do you lobby in this wise? You go to him, you carry your pictures, you carry the people who are falling sick in the community because of all this. You see the stories. Some children are going to school. On their way to the school, all they do is that they put their feet in all sorts of things before they get to class. They go to class and bring all sorts of diseases, and then they return home with the same shoes and cause trouble in their home. You bring your story. You tell the counselor. Now, the counselor, you in your own understanding, is a member of your community. He should understand this, but he's asking you to bring money. He's asking you that, you see, before we see the chairman, you must bring money. Then you task the people in the community and you carry money and give to him. What have you done?
That's bribery.
That is bribery. That is bribery. The first one that you go and talk to him and you let him see reason what is happening and see reason with you and the community about what is happening. What do you think you have done?
That's lobby. I would
That
say
is
it's
lobby.
lobby. Yes.
That is lobbying. So you see the difference now.
Then sorry, I don't know if I'm dragging the class.
No, you are
the
okay.
Society today as it is,
Yes.
it's like when you don't do that, yes, you have spoken to the councillor, he understands, he sees what the situation is. And the next thing he's trying to do is, or he's trying to hear from you is, okay, what is my take at the end of the day?
That's what we are saying. That's corruption. That's the corruption that you have here as political interference and corruption. That is the corruption there. So it's a challenge. You see that is a challenge for us in Nigeria. So when you want to do a campaign, you want to do some advocacy, you meet with this kind of people, you meet with this kind of things, and they won't let your work show. So you see that is a challenge. It doesn't happen in every community, but in every part of the world, there is corruption of some sort. It's only that our own is plenty. Do we get it now? The difference between lobbying and
yes, it's clear for me. It's clear.
Very
clear. All right. Thank you very much. So the next thing we want to look at, so we looked at the challenges. We want to then look at ethical considerations. So when you want to do campaigns and advocacy, you must consider the ethical part of it. So what are these ethical considerations? Avoid exploitation or harm to clients. Avoid exploitation or harm to the clients. Don't exploit them. So when you want to now ask them to bring money first before you go somewhere, before you go and do something, it's exploitation. And you are not going to expose them to harm. That's why you need security. So this is an ethical matter. Again, maintain honesty and transparency. If you collect anything from community people to help them, let it be transparent, let it be seen. You have to live. One of the qualities of a social worker is honesty. I'm sure you know that. Another quality is transparency. You are not doing anything. It's true you are protecting data, but again, you are transparent. You must not be seen as eating up people's money as a social worker. You must not be seen as a thief. It's true they have given you money. Remember, they have committed some trust in your hands. That's why they have called you to come and help them. Or that is why you think you can help them. Again, it's an ethical matter to balance between client confidentiality and public matters. Now, you want to be sure that you are not exposing the people, overly exposing them. And that's why you have to deal with confidentiality. It's not everything that they tell you as an individual in confidence that you want to go and blow. So you want to keep their confidentiality. It's not hiding the truth, but it's protecting the people. So that you are saying it, but you are saying it in a good way that is not putting them in bad light, that is not affecting their persons. So you want to be ethical about it. So there must be a balance. There must be a balance. Confidentiality and protection, there must be. Openness and privacy, there must be a balance. Again, you must respect clients' autonomy and their wishes. It's true you want to help, but if they say that they don't want to say some things, you must respect it. If they say this person, we don't want to work with him, you must respect that thing. That is their wish. You must also make sure that you give them autonomy. It's their deal. It's their business. You are only an assistant, or you are only offering assistance. So you must put this in the mind as a social worker, that as an ethical thing that you want to do, you must respect their autonomy, the people and their wishes. You must balance confidentiality and public disclosure. You must maintain honesty and transparency, and then you must avoid any form of exploitation or harm that can come to the clients. Can we add any more to it? Can you think of any more that we can add to this? As an ethical matter, what can we add? Yes. Pretty, what is your name? Because it's Pretty that we can see. It's Pretty your name.
Yes, that's my name. My name is Pretty.
Mm-hmm.
That is my name.
All right. But we can't see your face to know whether you are really pretty.
I am.
I want to believe you are pretty in the heart.
Yes, I am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, ma.
So what can we add to this?
I want to add that it is, should I use the word confidence?
Confidence.
Reassuring our clients.
Thank you.
Yes, reassuring our clients that we are there for them.
Constant reassurance.
Yes.
Okay. So we use constant reassurance that you are not going to let them down halfway. It's an ethical thing. So it's part of your honesty that you are doing reassurance for them. Thank you. That's a good one. So they need constant reassurance. And as much as possible, you don't want to walk away halfway. So it will be unethical for you to bring them halfway and then abandon them. So no abandonment. No abandonment. You can add that to it. Any more?
I really want to talk about competence.
Pardon?
Competence.
Competence.
Because when you yes,
all right,
you are doing, so that they will have that kind of confidence in you, because competence leads to confidence.
All right, competence. Of the social worker now, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then I said no abandonment.
Yes.
I think there are instances where we also need to use our finance.
Okay.
Yes, there are instances where they come for maybe financial aids or one thing or the other. We can also provide
that is support.
Support. Financial
yes.
support.
Yes.
Okay, so ensure. Can we put it this way? Ensure financial support.
Okay.
It's an ethical thing. But suppose you don't have, you have to source for it.
Yes.
Okay. Because sometimes you don't have the finance, but you have the zeal in the heart.
Yeah, even if we don't have at that point, there are ways we could also, we can talk to people, like you just said, we can source for it, we can encourage them. Yesterday, I met a lady in the market. I didn't know she saw me when I parked. So she waited for me when I was coming, and she was like, "Oh, Madam, I had my babies, they are twin, a boy and a girl." So she was just telling me, she said she too also have, that she has a twin. But when I saw her, she was looking unkept. She wasn't looking good at all. That actually she just needs some money to take care of herself. She's living in one uncompleted building. Her spoken English was very sound. Very sound. That she was in the university. She dropped out at 300 level. And then, of course, the boy that got her impregnated has absconded.
Disappeared.
Yes. So and I said, so how do you manage? She said the uncompleted building where she stays, they pay every Saturday. So she was now gathering money to see how she can make her payments today.
For today.
You know. So I said that she just needs some money to eat, at least for her to make small food. That there's this woman that promised to take the child from her, one of the children, that she will give her money. And I asked her, you want to sell your baby? Don't try that too. She said she was now saying that she was actually thinking whether she should do it or not. So I told her, I said, well, let me have do you have a phone? She said she has somebody, a number that she can give to me. I said, okay, let me have it. At the moment now, I've exhausted the cash in my hand. Give me that number. Tell me where you stay. If I come there, if I can find you. She said, yes. I asked her, where are you from? She told me all of that. I interviewed her. I said, okay, don't worry. I'm going to call this. Although she pleaded I should give her my number, which I refused because I was still looking at her.
I told her,
you can't be too trusting. Security reasons, I'm not going to give you my number. But you give me the number for which I can reach you. I'll find out, I'll see what I can do. Will you work? If you find one, she said yes.
All right.
I said, okay, don't worry, I'll get back to you. I took the number and I left. But I know, even though I didn't give her physical cash,
yes,
the way I spoke to her gave her courage.
And
she felt, yes. And I
and
know
hope.
I'm going to call her. I will make effort to trace her, see if I can,
you can help her. At least you rescue one soul. If not, we can't save the world.
No,
but at least we
but
can
I
help
told
one
her
person.
She should ensure she does not sell her child. She doesn't do anything to the child. She now promised that she will keep the child. I said, don't worry, I will come back for you. Yeah.
And do social work practice on her.
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. We pray for you to succeed in that, in helping one person.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you. So we have seen some ethical considerations for this. Whatever we are doing, we must look at the ethics of what we want to do. So how do we conclude this? Advocacy and campaigns are fundamental to social work practice, especially in Nigeria, where there are social inequalities and human rights challenges. Social workers must be proactive, just as Pretty has started. They must be skilled, so you must know where your boundaries are, what to do and what not to do. She did not give her phone number immediately. When the relationship has grown, the person may have the number, but not at the initial level. So we must be knowledgeable to know what to disclose, even about us as social workers. We must know what to disclose and what not to disclose. And then what again do? We must be ethical in everything that we do as social workers. So as advocates, as campaigners for change, as campaigners for positive things, as advocates for development in the community, we must be ethical, we must be skilled, and we must always be proactive. Again, we go back to the first rule: protect yourself first before you begin to protect somebody else. You are not standing well, you want to hold somebody, that may not work. So what we insist on you standing well, protected, secured, then you can pull somebody up, or else the other person may pull you down, and you don't want to help people and then fall, because it's advocacy and campaign that we are looking at. Any questions or additions? So these are some materials that we can still look at if you have the time to look at that. I wanted us to do an activity, to choose a group or a community or an individual as your client. What would you do? So let's take like 10 minutes to just talk about this. We don't have to write it down, but let's take like 10 minutes to just talk about this. So by 3:30, 3:35, we'll close the class, because I have another class at 4. So what do you think we'll do? What would you do? Choose any group, you as an individual, or then choose one group or a group of individuals or a community. What do you think you want to do? Yes, Stella, we are listening to you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Presently,
I can't hear you. Your network is very weak.
Boy, an individual, I'm picking up
All right.
a one student in the whole town, abandoned his school because of his situation. Recently came to my office, and that was when I came to know about him. In such a situation, I found out that this same boy has been in hospital, and because of his condition, nobody helping out. He ran to the office, and we found out that the hospital is still holding him. I had to go and speak to the hospital, knowing very well that he doesn't have any parents that is able to take care of his situation. How to for referral. This referral, because we know that we on our own, personally, we wrote to, through his own write-up, we milited to the chairman of the commission, seeking a fund, that is resource, taking to look for money to take him to hospital. So when he declined, we had to go to another NGO because we are looking for a referral where he can have adequate treatment. So referred him to a group that is connected to the governor's wife, an NGO that the governor's wife has. And so through that point, he has been getting attention.
Yeah, that's
I think
good.
that's, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes.
We still monitor and know how far he has come back to us. That's still. Thank you.
Thank you. Ijoma.
Hello, ma'am. Here.
Yes.
Mine is I can, like, as a staff women first. Choose like disabled people living with this
disability.
That they use the Department of Rehabilitation to help them. Sometimes it's like they want sometimes it's as if, I call it an interest group, because when they come with force. And their first approach, because they are directly under us, they will come straight to us. Maybe they don't have working aids and all those ones. So the serve as an intermediary. We take their interest to the state government as our governor through the Honorable Commissioner of Ministry of Women Affairs. And those needs of that we looked into, and maybe a budget will be made through and approved them to be supplied the working aids and all those chairs that they need. So I see those things as a way of it's an interest group, and I look at it not only because they are under us, they have other things. It's an interest group. They are coming together for common interest.
That's right.
But yes,
but they lack the resources. But you can do the lobbying for them.
So the ones lobbying for them most times.
Okay. Okay. Pretty.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, we are listening to you.
I think I'll have to work on this lady that I saw now.
Okay.
Yes, I'll work on her. Even though I already have a young boy in my church who is physically, he has no I think the foot, I think he was born like that. Born like that. And he's already an adult that he met me last Sunday and told me he actually needs a wheelchair, that he doesn't know how to go about it. I told him to just give me some time.
Okay.
That I'll see what I can do to bring him into.
So you need some resources. So you want to pencil down the people, the target for this boy at least. The target is a wheelchair.
Yes.
So that's the objective, is clear. The next thing is, who are the people you think can help? If you have 5 people, if you have 10 people, if you have only 2 people, you think they can help, you want to address them.
In the church there.
In the church or outside. It could be your own.
Not necessarily in the church.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, suggesting they can still help. Then you can see the rehabilitation department.
So these are areas that you can also go to. And once you do for one person, you can be sure that there will be others who will come. Yes. So you want to ensure that you spread your tentacles so that you can have plenty. And then, I mean, not plenty, you can have reserves. Because the woman that is in question now, you know that she too will need assistance.
Of course.
So maybe you want to put all together in your plan. And then you know that this woman you are looking for a job for her. After a while. If it's to sweep government, yes.
Please. So because if they are teaching them skills,
yes,
you'll be able to he or herself.
Yes, so you can even explore that the women's affairs training skills that they are doing all over the place. These are things that you would explore. And then all we are saying is that you want to advocate for them. These are just individual cases, but you can also have a group of them. So when you have a group, you know that your tentacles will be bigger. But consider all the people that can help. You will indeed make a long list. You have your paper and your pen. You just put the names there as they come to your mind. Just be writing them down. Some will help, some will not help. Some places you will get only 1 naira. Another place you will get 10 naira. And another one you will get 100 naira. But there must be accountability. So you are accountable to yourself first. Because you are doing something. And then you make sure that be transparent about it. If people are asking you questions, be open to tell them about it. All right?
Yes, ma.
Okay.
Yes, ma.
If there are no questions and no additions, then we have concluded. And then can I send the slides to, who do I send the slides to?
Secretary will drop.
Okay. I will send it to the secretariat. All right.
Yes, ma.
I will send it this afternoon.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Indeed, I don't know whether you still need the slides because the recordings are going to be there.
Yes, we need it, ma.
All right. I'll send it. I'll send it to the secretariat.
Okay, ma.
Thank
you, ma.
Thank you. So have a good evening.
You too,
yes,
ma.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay.
Sorry for coming late.
It's all right. We have made up.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you.